That's why I got a C minus C plus.
But you had to learn how to draw. You kata akapepa this thing, and your handwriting small. And it's like you just need to know the basics in a shorthand.
Yeah.
And because all you need is a refresher of the point. You know the point. You just need a refresher of how the points are.
Me. If your partner is saying, no, I don't think it's a good idea, take it to the Lord in prayer. If the Lord is telling you go, then pack your things and go, because there are many fish in the sea, and your partner can go, and then you find someone here and you get married, just like me.
Exactly.
I'm a walking testimony.
I was gonna say, short of marriage, anything in a relationship status is navigatable.
You know how they say, don't let your boyfriend stop you from finding your husband. Same what's up. Okay?
Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Maju Diaries. My name is Warimo.
And my name is Jerry. Karibuni sana, our fellow Maju mates. And if you're new here, this is Maju Diaries, where we are two ladies, huku Maju, in the US of A, figuring out life, doing things, and just having conversations with each other, sharing our experiences, and just navigating life, yeah?
I know.
And if you're new here, just go ahead and do the thing, because ushafika, I mean, you might as well. In fact, it is considered rude. You know how when you go to someone's house, na unakataanga chai, that is you not doing the thing. That is the same wazo.
By the way, that's
same
true.
Go ahead and do the thing, and make sure you are able to tune in to any of our new episodes, because we do this on a weekly basis. Here in Nature dedication
and consistency. Let me tell you guys. So let's talk about a little bit about the previous episode.
Yes.
What happened was, you guys recorded an amazing episode. First of all, I want to say thank you for still showing us love, because that episode video ilisema mimi na nyinyi different was up. But you guys are still showing us some love, so we really appreciate it.
No, we really do. And then I also was telling Wairimo, this is our wake-up call to actually go into Spotify, because we've had you. Tumewasikia. It's not that we're ignoring. Tumewasikia. We just need to actually figure out the configuration of now putting our audios into Spotify.
I know, because we are a one-man show.
We are. No, two-woman show.
We do everything. We do everything ourselves.
Exactly.
So. But that was a wake-up call for sure. So we got you guys. But anyway, jumping into this conversation, it is another fan favorite request. You guys, you have no idea how much we geek when we see people asking us, hey, talk about this, we want to talk about this. We geek so much. Personally, I do. I really appreciate that. So
even me.
Yes. So what are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about lessons we have learned in our 20s. We're still early. We're still new to the 30s. So give us some time before we talk about our 30s. But like in our 20s, we are veterans. We have lived through them. We're just going to be sharing some of our experiences. Hopefully they will be eye-opening to you. And if you're over your 30s, we would definitely encourage you to comment below and let us know what did you learn, so that our fellow 20-year-olds, some things can see and learn, and also reduce pressure on yourselves.
And the teenagers too as well.
And the teenagers, simu imeanguka, 1 second.
And niko na notes. Niko na mwa Kenya.
I have my notes on my phone. Hey.
One of the lessons is tumia mwa Kenya.
By the way, it's true.
Kenya saved lives.
But was it considered cheating?
It is cheating. What do you mean?
But I mean,
it's the version of open book tests in America.
Okay, but if you've been told it's an open book, then why can't you have additional notes to answer the questions?
But no, none of the tests in Kenya was about open book. None of them. So we took our small books.
But you know what? Here's the thing, and I'm sorry to say. How do I say this? You know how they say good guys finish last?
Yeah.
Or it doesn't pay to always be good. I'm not saying we go be bad people there. No, that's not what I'm saying. But sometimes when you follow when you follow the rules to the T, it doesn't work for you. And please, guys, I am not saying please do not go and steal from your companies. And then Jerry said, no, but what I'm trying to say is rules are made to be bent. And something I have learned from my boss's boss, not even my boss's boss, it is better to ask for forgiveness
than permission.
Let me tell you.
Use that wisely, though.
Very wisely. But that boss, I don't want to say their gender, that boss, the way they share some ideas for events that we are planning, I'm just like, can we not get arrested for this? And they're like, it's better to ask for forgiveness. But then again, there's also white privilege. So I'll just leave it at that.
I know. Anyway, that's not even point number 1, but it just triggered so much.
Sorry.
And no, to that point, honestly, like, look at the way. Let me talk from my experience, because I don't think every school was like ours or is like ours. The University of Nairobi, the way our tests were set up, my goodness, it's either umesoma, you have umesoma the entire syllabus, everything, you know, every single thing, unless you know that.
Yeah.
And it's not to just know at the points at the point 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like you know the point, and you can explanation that will get you 10 good marks.
Wow.
So yeah, sometimes the Makenyans, they came through. But that is back in the days before we had like smartphones. I remember the time I got my Idios or Idios, whatever.
Idios.
And I could get the slides or the notes on my phone. Anyway, I don't know what you guys are doing nowadays in school, but Makenya saved us.
Wait, so you pull out your phone? Wait, guys. You pull out your phone, you put it on the desk, and then you're just there like this.
See, now you hide it nicely. Can't even Makenya, how do you use it?
No, let me tell you something. If I've cheated in my exam, it's whatever can fit, not even at the palm of my hand, at the base of the palm.
Yeah, you're not risky.
It's true.
That's
why I got a C minus C plus.
But you had to learn how to draw. You cut a paper this thin, and your handwriting small. And it's like you just need to know the basics in a shorthand.
Yeah.
And because all you need is a refresher of the point. You know the point. You just need a refresher of how the points are. We worked
for me.
Anyway, point number 1. Tell us your point number 1. Lessons from your 20s.
Lesson from my 20s. Let's see. My point number 1 is don't be afraid to hustle. You know, before we did our KCSE, we had some alumni visit the school, and they shared with us their professional journey. And there were some who got their A's, and then there were some who got their C's and their D's. And honestly, if I'm being honest, there's this one lady, I don't remember her name, but I remember she worked in Hako Industries. And that mommy, she came polished. She came clean.
Yeah. She
came wanging for us. I think she came to America for a month, but when she came back to Kenya, and she was telling us, like, girls, do your best, but even if you fail, there is more to life.
Yeah.
My mother, she mentioned in the other episode, like, she knew that even if I didn't do well in my KCSE, there's more to life.
Absolutely.
You know, even the way the Kenyan system is set up, it's a cramming system.
It
you know, if you know how to cram, you'll pass. If you don't, well, here I am.
Yeah.
And I think with that mentality, and also after KCSE happening, what that did for me was I wasn't entitled. Because now I'm like, okay, my options are few. One, I can't go and say, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a pilot, I want to be an engineer. No. My options are, okay, with this C, what can we get? Yeah. What can we do? What can you go and do in school?
Absolutely.
I know there was the option of doing like 2 years at Kemu, and then I go to ESIU. But I was like, it's not for me. If you did that, kudos. But for me personally, I was like, I'm not seeing how I'm just doing 2 years in Kemu for me to now be able to go into a university. And now that's how I ended up in hospitality management. And so what I'm trying to say is, if you had a great plan in your life, because I think, what did I want to do? I wanted to be a psychologist. And of course, with that, you needed some good grades in your sciences, you know. But me and chemistry and biology, tuko hivi. But being, having the opportunity to do the hospitality management, I was grateful, because I was like, at least there's a school somewhere out there willing to take my C, my minuscule C, the one that I got a D+ in math, you know. So that, for me, that was my mentality. At least there's an institution that can still educate me. And two, with that type of mentality, when jobs come your way, you're not looking at it as, excuse me, I had an A in KCSE.
How can I even lower myself?
I was first class levels in my bachelor's. I was this in my master's and this in... No, I'm just like, wow, at least nimepata job. Let me hustle. And even when you're in the job itself, people will see. They'll be like, by then Jerry, she's open to learn. Absolutely. And then people actually now start pulling you into their office like, hey, Jerry, I've seen you do 1, 2, 3. So you do 4, 5, 6 so that you can learn this other aspect of the business. So when you have that mentality of hustling, it opens other doors to opportunities and favor with other people who will want to show you the way to succeed.
Akinjeri, you've put that so well. Like, that is, I mean, if there's anything I can sum up 20s is that. Like, be open to opportunities, be open to many different things. The only thing I can say is, truly, there's no one path to success.
There's
not one, and you realize that very quickly. For some few people, they know exactly the path they want to, where you want to finish high school, get their A, go into medical school, become doctors. And that's okay for you. If that path becomes so linear for you, amazing. But for most people, the path to success is not linear. You will try very many different things, and you have to be open to that. Because you see something important. We become entitled to, this is what I wanted to, and if it doesn't work that way, then you don't know how to adapt and change to the next thing. So maybe my point was to, on top of that, I feel like education is important. For me, at least if you can attain an undergraduate, at least if you can, because I know there are people who really cannot because of finances and everything. But if you have the opportunity to go to school, please go to school. At least get an undergraduate under your belt, because this is one thing I found out. The easiest life you have is today. So when you're going to school, you think, my God, life is so difficult. These classes are so difficult. These exams are so difficult. It is true. It's difficult. At that time. But at that time, that is the most difficult, because not even most, no, that's not most difficult. It's the easiest. That is the easiest. The easiest life I have is today.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I'll have 2 children. That will be another level of difficulty. God willing, I'll have, the easiest life you have is now. So you may feel like it's the most difficult life, trying to navigate school, finish your degree. But I promise you, if that is the only thing you gotta do right now, go to school, you're staying at your parents' or at a hostel or something, you don't have bills piling up, you don't have responsibilities, that is the easiest life will be today. So if you can, honestly, I would suggest, please, kama unaweza soma maliza, but you also have so much time in your day. There's so much freedom, because I said all you gotta do is do your classes, and your classes are not forever. So if you can do what Njeri is saying, hustle, find ways of hustling, like when you're in school, find ways of making money, of course legal ways of making money, but that spirit of hustling, and by hustling is, I don't like using the word hustling, but I like to use be what's that word? Just hardworking. Just like find something to do. Stay busy. Like, don't waste your time just watching Netflix and doing whatever. Whatever it is that you can do, especially a money making activity while you're doing school that won't take you away from school. That's what I would say. For me, in my 20s, my hustle, again, I don't like to use that word. I used to sell eggs in school. I think I've told you that story. My auntie would bring me eggs, like 10 crates, and then I would sell them like a bob less than what the canteen was selling, or the tack shop, not the canteen, the tack shop. I used to make bread. Like I had
bake bread?
No. Yeah. I had a sandwich maker. So I would buy brawn and Blue Band and bread. I just pack out and make those sandwiches. And then usiku, when people if you go to university or whatever, you know ADD. People when they are studying usiku in ADD, I go hawking bread.
Yes, like I'm like, sandwich.
Yeah. Like I know you're hungry, you want some? Yeah, and people used to buy.
Yeah.
I make small money like that. We used even to go to Gikomba, buy dresses. Yeah. We come wash them, iron them, and sell them dogo to people like for an inflated amount. When you know a dress for 50 bob,
and then because for 400, bas.
There's many money making opportunities that you can do while in campus. So figure that out and do it. Make some money while you're doing it.
Yeah, and if you don't mind me adding on, Wairimo has encouraged us to do our undergrads. Now, if you're in a position that you can't do an undergrad, financial restrictions or just like even lack of interest of doing an undergrad, trade school is an option, especially here in America.
Yes.
I know in Kenya there's, what is it? There's a one for...
The technical university?
Yeah, technical university.
Yeah.
So that's an option as well. I want to say, I can only speak for America right now because I understand it. But what we call the blue collar jobs, they are paying bank for electricians, for construction workers, for
even spa stuff. Like that's what I did.
There
estheticians and
there is money to be made. So please, as much as maybe once upon a time you wanted to be a doctor, it's okay. You can still keep the dream. We're not saying you kill it, but on your journey there, if you end up in a trade school and being an electrician and opening your own electricity company, then so be it. Do not be ashamed of the job title. Blue collar doesn't mean it's low pay. No. It just looks different from white collar. White collar, watu wamevaa suti wako tu hivi. But blue collar, definitely there's a lot of money to be made. It's a dying trade. Even there was an article I read where they were saying tailoring is a dying job because people are now trying to go into IT. But now what happens in the wedding industry?
My goodness.
A woman
That's
buys
why the
a
prices
dress.
are so high.
Exactly. She buys a size 10 but she's a size 4. So now she has to go look for a seamstress to go and shona. And a lot of these ladies, these tailors are old women. And once those women die, alafu.
Yeah, by the way, it's true. It is so true.
So do not dharau the job occupation. You just never know what is on the other side of the door for you when you open yourself up to the opportunity. And I'll end there.
That's so good. I am definitely a product of trade school. And also the turnaround or the return on investment is quicker.
Yes.
Because trade schools, the most it will take you is probably a year, maximum 2. Than a degree that's going to take you 4 or 5 years.
And then you don't have to pay those crazy loans.
Exactly. I definitely advocate for trade schools for sure.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. It was me?
Yes.
Okay. Let me jump into this one. In my 20s, I was character developed seriously. So one of the lessons I learned when I got a little older, that kind of relationship you're holding on to so with your dear life in your early 20s, kwanza college boyfriends, it's good. I'm happy for you. But my friend, I can give you a statistic that it's a guesstimate, but 9 out of 10 of those relationships do not go anywhere.
So true.
Those relationships they are filled with the most amount of drama. And it takes so much of your time because you feel like this is life and death. But I'm telling you, half of those relations, 9 out of 10, I'll give 90%, they don't go anywhere. They really don't. So, wachana na vijana, like, yes, you can have fun. I'm not saying don't date. But the way you shikilia with your life, like, I'm lacking words to use because, man, I remember my relationship when I was entering college.
Yeah.
Entering
college, not even during college, entering.
Wow. Even, no, I think I dated once while in college.
Uh-huh.
But I'm telling you, those relationships are just so... there's nothing there. Because let me tell you what happens. My brothers told me this a long time ago. I don't know how true it is, but it is coming from men. My brothers told me a man who is not yet 23 years old, they have nothing they can give you. They are still forming themselves. They are being led by their testosterone most of the time. This is what they told me. So a man who is not even 23 years old, that's a child. They're probably not going to take you anywhere. There's a small, are there...
Watakupeleka McFries.
Like a McFries na kufunza kudade. But I'm telling you, those relationships, honestly, because I saw people dating throughout campus. I saw them. We saw it. They used to, you sell your room, you go and live with your boyfriend.
Wow.
Half of those people are not together.
Half or 3/4?
More than 3/4. They're not together anymore. Because you realize in Afrika mahali, when a man matures and a woman matures, because in college you're really not that mature.
Yeah.
Maturity kikugonga, unashanga hii ni utoto gani nafanya? What kind of childish... This relationship is really not serving me, you know? So unfortunately it gets to that point. And so if you gave your all, because there are people who used to... I feel so bad for some girls that we were in school with, but then now they've settled into this relationship in campus. You're living together in a dorm room, then you get pregnant.
Wow.
Go unajua maisha yako ndio ita stop, maisha ya the guy will still continue because
he's not the one who's pregnant.
He's not the one who's pregnant. Now you either go home and stay with your mother because you can't be going to school when you're pregnant. Like,
and then every Friday he's out with his boys, having a good time. Telling them, don't worry, she's at home.
She's at home.
Ha.
Yeah, you end up being the one to carry the cross. And not even even the emotional capacity it takes on you. And you went there to study. And you find yourself like, it's too much for you to even study because you've given your all. Because at that age, really, you're not mature enough to be able to differentiate, like, or to compartmentalize. It's just so difficult. So my honest thought is I'm not saying don't date, but please do not let it take you away from the main goal, which is finding yourself. If it's school, keep school first. Like, those relationships, I'm sorry.
It's true. By the way, she has said everything. There's nothing else I'm going to add. So, on to the next point. It's going to kind of sound repetitive, but hear me out. Be open to opportunities. When I say that, I mean, you may have a career path. Let's say you want to be... let me just use myself as an example. I wanted to be a psychologist for the longest. I enjoy listening to people's problems. I love solving them. I'm an empath to the core. But my grades did not allow me to go straight into science or into a university. So I had the opportunity to come to Stato after I did my 3-year, what do we call it, higher national diploma in hospitality management. Now, I had always known I was coming back to America because after high school I was like, KCC doesn't matter. I'm going to America. I never went to America then. Even after KCPE, I think I was trying to come to America. And then finally one day I woke up, I said, guys, this is it. I'm going to America. All my friends were like, yeah, we've heard this before. I quit my job. I packed my bags. I bought the ticket. But what I'm trying to say is, in your 20s is when you should be able to move around without any baggage. So boyfriends, children, that should... let me say this very carefully. If you have a child, do not abandon them. But if you are without child and you have a serious relationship with someone, have the conversation with them and be like, hey, you know what? I have this opportunity to go to Stato.
Yeah.
Give me 2 years to gain this international exposure. And if it doesn't work out for me, at least I tried, you know? Now, chances are this is going to go 2 ways. This is your boyfriend from college. It will end. It will just end. Long distance. Or you and your boyfriend, things go really well. You guys work on your relationship. You do well for yourself in Stato. And you can extend your citizenship or green card. I don't know which documentation is needed.
For them?
Yeah, okay. Anyway, yeah, you can somehow change their status from Kenya to come to Stato, and you guys can continue building your life here.
Yeah.
Those are possibilities that can happen. So all I'm trying to say is don't box yourself into Kenya alone. There's so much to be seen. The world is a big place. Oh my goodness.
They know the world is yours. I saw this story on YouTube. This lady, she got a job in Gulf. You know those jobs for nannies in Gulf, and she built a mansion.
Wow. In the Gulf?
No, here at home.
Okay.
But imagine someone like that. She was just at home, got an opportunity, went, hustled, and built herself a mansion and changed her life forever. And you're there saying, oh, me, I would rather stay here than go. If you get an opportunity, go.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, because you never know what doors is going to open for you.
Exactly. And then you don't have that responsibility of, I have a husband, I have a child, I have this. Your responsibility is yourself.
Absolutely.
So if you can do it now when you have no strings attached to you, even if you're in a relationship, you guys can work through that. With a child, it makes things a little bit harder. But if that opportunity comes up, please by all means take it. Discuss it with your partner. If they don't think it's a good idea, then
work it out.
Come reach out to me on Instagram. I'll be more than happy to have a conversation with you. But then also remember, this is your life. You only live once. If your partner is saying, no, I don't think it's a good idea, take it to the Lord in prayer. If the Lord is telling you, go, then pack your things and go, because there are many fish in the sea, and your partner can go. And then you find someone here and you get married, just like me.
Exactly.
I'm a walking testimony.
I was going to say, short of marriage, anything in a relationship status is navigatable.
You know how they say, don't let your boyfriend stop you from finding your husband. Same what's up. Okay? Just because you've dated someone for 5 years.
Kwanza those ones you dated for 5-7 years. And hey, please don't.
There's no ring on your finger, my dear.
But if there's no ring on your finger and opportunities come, please take them. Someone told me, actually, a lady we had here, a previous episode, Miss Dr. Catherine.
Yeah.
Your 20s is the time to experiment, honestly.
Exactly.
And you say something. If you don't have anything tying you, like you're not married, you don't have children, please, by all means, experiment as much as you can. Of course, within legal boundaries.
Please, legal.
Legal boundaries. Experiment, try as many things as possible, because once those kids come, you kind of take a settled approach a little bit, and the opportunities to really like explore too many things will not be as much there. So I agree with you 100%.
Period.
P for period. And on that note, this is probably in your later 20s, after maybe you memaliza college, or you've been hustling for a little while and you have money and you still don't have responsibilities. When you start one of the most dangerous times is when people finish school, they get a job, and as soon as you get a job, now you have some money. It is time to chop your money. It was
I chopped my money. All of it.
We all did, I'm telling you.
Yes.
I look back and say, I lived with my father for 5 years and I have nothing to show for the amount of money I should have saved. let me tell you, this is what I'm going to tell you. If you live with your parents and you're working, the bare minimum, however much rent you could be paying, I challenge you, start saving that amount of money monthly. That's what I learned. I swear, looking back again, we're talking about lessons of our 20s.
Yeah.
In my 20s, I lived with my parents in America. I had a job. There's a point where my dad was paying my car note, so my bills were very small.
That's beautiful.
And I have nothing to show for that time. Zero.
Really?
Zero. Actually, I feel so bad I had zero. Because it was money, chop, chop, chop. Oh, what do you want to say? I do not know what I did with that money. I do not know. It wasn't too much, but at least I could have saved, even if it's however much.
Could have bought a piece of land somewhere.
I could have. I really could have. Like,
Yeah.
I really wasted my money. Please listen. Even if you don't have a savings goal, or like you're saving towards something, save your money.
Yeah.
Just save. Have a saving culture, especially if you don't have bills. If you live with, please, if you have not had anything else I say today, if you have graduated from college, you live with your parents, they're allowing you to stay with them, and you are not, your bills are not that many, you're not paying rent, at least save however much amount of money you could be paying for. And that's something that you can do.
I don't know. I feel like I'm going to be the devil's advocate.
Please do.
Because we're learning, or rather, let's see, it's the foolish things let me not say the foolish, the things, the experiences we've learned in our 20s. Maybe because I didn't have the same experience. Because when I came to Stato, I lived with family for 2 months, but after that, I ended up living on my own with a stranger roommate. I didn't have that luxury to just bangaiza and spend my money anyhow. But sometimes I see people who, I'm not saying this is wise, guys. Please, please, please. I'm not saying this is wise. But people who've opened up credit cards, maxed them out, and traveled as much as they did, declared bankruptcy, and then after 2-3 years, they're back on their feet. I know it's unorthodox, but I kind of admire them. Because I'm like, you did the craziest and stupidest thing. You got to travel. You got to have all those experiences, declare bankruptcy, and then you know how the American system works. I don't know about Kenya, so guys, please hold on if you're in Kenya. But huku maju, you declared bankruptcy. You did what you had to do in those 2-3 years, and now you're back on your feet as a responsible adult. So I'm looking at you. I hear what you're saying. And I the responsible side of me wholeheartedly agrees with you. But then the devil's advocate on this other shoulder is like, to me, a pesa ikuzoe. You know, money was made to be spent. Especially, and I think why I'm leaning more on the devil advocate side is because as much as you didn't save or have to pay bills, it didn't lead you into, I don't know. It didn't lead you into debt?
I got in some debt, but again, it's because of my business.
See, that's business. Okay, that's fine. But like just your personal finances, like did that lead you into debt?
No.
So now you see, you still enjoyed yourself, yes or no?
I mean, I did, but now looking back, where I say it didn't work in my favor is because at that moment, I didn't think that I will ever need money for the future. Of course, I had my dad telling me save, but I didn't. Now, when I got into the future, like when we were planning for our wedding, planning for our future, and and all that stuff is when I was like, I could have really used this money here now.
I hear you.
But my only issue with that other side you're talking about is what's going to stop you from taking that mentality into your future one time when things go bad. You're like, I can always max out credit cards and just declare bank. Like, what's gonna stop you from never doing that again?
I think, just personally speaking, I think once you've hit a certain low in your life, you're just like, I never want to be here again.
So you're still killer too.
That's true.
It's not a, because I
That's
know
true.
someone in my life, unfortunately, that she has hit rock bottom several times
Chai.
and still
Like from
goes
a
back.
financial perspective.
From an entire perspective.
Okay.
And this person has a child.
Wow.
To the point, it's so bad. Like, it's you hit rock bottom, and rock bottom, you come back up, hit rock bottom again. It's like, it's not everybody who learns their lesson, unfortunately.
Okay. I hear that,
Mhm.
and that's unfortunate, especially with a child in the picture. I don't know. I think I'm just that person. Let me tell you who I am, and my mother can attest to this. You tell me don't do it, and then I'm like, why? And then you say because it's not good for you. Now me, I'm like, no. I need to find out why for myself. Why it's not good for me, and then I will make that decision on if it's good for me or
Has
not.
that ever come to bite you in the butt?
Of course.
And that's what I'm saying. We are sharing our lessons from what we thought was good back then, but then you come look back. Because for me, honestly, I feel like in the situation I'm saying save, if you have, I want to go for a trip, that doesn't stop. I can use the money I've saved. I can still gallivant and I can still do all that by using the money that I have worked
That
hard
you
for.
saved yeah.
Because at the end of the day, honestly, especially if you live in America, if you're not disciplined with debt, I would really recommend don't even go there. Try as much as possible,
Yeah.
especially if you're going to max out a credit card for fun activities. That to me is a complete no. If you want to fund your activities, if you want to use credit cards, that's fine, but please pay them off.
Yeah.
Like, I do not even for your wedding, I do not advocate maxing out credit cards.
Hapana.
That so
Afadhali
you can
ufanya
live.
harambe.
Exactly.
At least.
So
Hey.
if you're working and you have all this disposable income because you're living with your parents and everything, there is, again, it's about the lesson. The lesson is not just about saving money. It's about the financial discipline that you're building for not just now, but even for the future. Because then you're learning things like delayed gratification, which will be very helpful in the future when those bills come. Because now when the bills start coming, but your hunger is for gallivanting, you will always be conflicting. Some bills are not paid. You find your bills have never been paid because you have to go on this trip. It's about the financial discipline that you're building. It's really not about how much money is in your savings account or saving. It's the financial discipline, because even while you're saving, you can either stop saving for a while, pay for your trip, go have fun, come back and continue. It's about the financial discipline. That's the big thing for me, because now we are suffering the lack of financial discipline, paying our bills on time, like, not maxing our credit cards. We are paying for those mistakes. And now we are having to relearn what is financial discipline. Paying your bills first, tithing, saving, and then the extra money you have now, you allocate it wisely where it's supposed to go.
And then you also need to invest.
And you're that's why I said the easiest life you have is today. The easiest life we'll get is today.
Yeah.
So before it becomes what life is now, at least try to teach yourself to do better today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's just like someone saying, "Oh, I'm going to drink all the alcohol I wanted. I'm going to do all the drugs today, and then I'm going to stop when I get married." The appetite will still be there.
I keep just remembering.
But have fun. I'm not saying don't have fun with your money, but have fun, planned fun. Let me say planned fun.
I'm glad you said that, because my next point is get the stupid out your system. Planned fun isn't fun.
Isn't fun?
It isn't. Toto, let me tell you, Wairimu. And I will say this, I won't name names, but during COVID, that was the year I partied like it was 1999. When people are dying, it was so unfortunate and very stupid, because one of us could have died. But it was the one time in my life, me and my friends partied like...
Where were you going that was open?
No, you're not going to a club. You're going to someone's house.
Oh, someone's house. Okay.
This week. And then please remember, you can't go to work because now everything has gone online. 1, 2, the corporate world did not know how to operate in COVID. So ni zile za, you're in a meeting at 9 a.m. They tell you, okay, things are going like this, everything is tentative. Your work day is done by 12. Someone calls you, Jerry unadu? Me, I'm just chilling at home. Why? What's up? You come. And then I don't know where alcohol would come from, because all these places were closed. But there was always alcohol. So you go to someone's house, it's a house party. Party after party after party after party. Man, I tell you, we all got COVID, yes. And thankfully, we all survived. It was one of the stupidest experiences of my life. But I got it out of my system.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is, as much as those decisions were not wise at all, because people actually died from COVID, I'm not making light of the situation. I'm not, please understand that. But it's tricky saying this as a Christian, as a believer now. I believe there are times in your journey in adulthood where you have a lot of energy to socialize, to dance, to be on the move. And I think it is good for you to be outside. But if you do end up being outside, do it with people, one, who you trust, who got your back. In the event that you find yourself umelewa kulewa, ile pombe sio supu type of kulewa, like they will actually take care of you, take you home or whatever, and not take advantage of you. And I feel like because I had those moments with those friends of mine, now I will admit, I'll be very honest, there are times where I'm just like, hey, it's a Friday night, what am I doing? And then I'm like looking at my husband, I'm like, tunadu? And he's like, we're just chilling, you can do dinner. I'm like, okay, and then after dinner, what are we doing? Are we going to dance? You know, life is different now. But the fact that I got to hang out with my friends in my 20s, we got to go dancing. I think for me, the main thing was just dancing, because I just enjoy dancing in general. But I was blessed with a group of friends who would take care of me, and vice versa, if we ended up irresponsibly drunk, you know? And so if you end up, not if, because sometimes it's inevitable. No, let me not say drinking is a choice. If you do end up being in a position or at a party or whatever the case is, please make sure it is with people who have your back. If you have an inkling of doubt, acha tu, wacha tu, because it will not end well for you. And I got the stupid out my system.
I'm not. I do not disagree at all with what you're saying. Like, you gotta get. No, the thing is, you're gonna make mistakes. I think now I can say you're going to make mistakes in your 20s. You're gonna do a lot of things that are considered stupid. A lot of them. We did all of those, dancing on tables. We did a lot of that. What I'll say, the only thing I'll add to that is, as she said, like having people around you who will take care of you when you do the stupid, because it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. But when you wake up the following day, really ask yourself, is this really the life I want to keep living? You know, like, try to go back to a point of responsible. You keep asking yourself, how responsible is this thing that I'm doing? Because the more stupid things you do, the more you put yourself in a vulnerable position for life to go way south, because it takes one stupid decision to sometimes, because say for example you go out drinking and unfortunately you have to drive home or something, you get into an accident and that can change your life forever. Now you have a DWI or a DUI in your record, or you kill somebody, or somebody drags your drink and you know, like, it's okay to get the stupid out of the system, but think about consequences that could happen if the stupid thing you're doing ends up horribly wrong. Because I think one thing people don't really consider is the consequences of their actions.
That's true.
And again, we're talking about lessons in our 20s. Now, looking back, yes, it was nice having fun. It was great. I'm so glad that nothing wrong happened.
That's true.
But now, talking from a point of looking backwards, I would say, yes, have fun, but be responsible just in case anything, because you're not thinking about the consequences. You are thinking about the fun
The
right
fun
now.
part, yeah.
You're just thinking about the fun part right now. But I'm challenging you to think about possible consequences of that, getting the stupid out of your system and factoring those in by having measures like if you're gonna go out drinking, have an Uber set up, or tell somebody take my phone. Just make sure you're being responsible. Factor in possible consequences and try to do as much as you can to have a mitigation measure. Like, don't drink from if the waiter is bringing you a drink, like, make sure the bottles come to you where they are still closed. Like, be the one to open your drink, kind of thing. Like, just small things, like make sure you know how your drink is being made. If it's a cocktail, watch them making it, because you never know. You never know. Anything will go. We're not saying it will, but
it can.
Yeah.
Okay, you've brought up an important point, whereby you need to think about the consequences. And I'm looking back at the situations where I was acting stupid, I was drunk, nini. I never thought of the consequences in that time.
Yeah.
But like, for our viewers who are under the age of 28, 27-ish, I guess, how would you make them or encourage them to trigger the thought of consequences? Because you see, Saturday, if I was back in my 20s, I'd be like, okay, after I finish shooting this thing, let me call up so-and-so I can know what the plan is for tonight. It's not like, you know what, maybe I should just go home, relax, just have some downtime for myself. But yeah, how would you encourage a 20-something-year-old to trigger their thoughts of consequences before they go out for the night, before they enter their car, before they have that sip of a drink? How would you encourage them to think of a consequence when everyone around them is doing otherwise?
I mean, I don't know. I guess a conversation like this, if you hear this conversation, then something that you remember, like, oh, they said to think about the consequences. But at the end of the day, I feel like it's not that you don't know. It's just not a priority.
Yeah.
It's not like you don't know that when you're driving drunk, there's a possibility of you causing an accident. It's not that you don't know. You know, but it's a matter of prioritizing that. And also just let me say this, we need to start being aware of our surroundings at all times. Whether you are sober as hell or drunk as whatever. Because anything can happen to you even while you're sober, even while you're,
That's true, yeah.
So I'm not saying not have fun, but even Valentine told us, count the cost of your actions or inactions. In everything you do, there's going to be consequences. So you gotta live your life. It has to be like a habit or a natural thing that you go with by always thinking about the consequences of your actions or inactions, even while you're sober. Because even simple things like, I don't feel like going to class today. Okay, you missed the class. There's going to be consequences for missing that class. You're going to have fun for not going to class, but maybe the teacher's going to teach something or say something or review something, or maybe an impromptu cut which you're going to miss.
That is true.
There's always think before, no matter whether you're drunk or not, think before I do this or before I say this. Make it a habit of your own life everywhere. Like nowadays, I'm very cautious. Before I say anything to my husband, I'm very cautious. Is this coming from a place of love? Can I say it different? Can I say it better? What is going to be the consequence of me saying this thing now and in this way? Once you count that cost and you see what could happen, then you revisit your course of action. Like, how are you going to say it? So, for example, if you want to go out and have fun and you know things could go wrong because you've made it a part of your everyday life to count the cost of your actions or inactions, then I want to go out and have fun, and I've called us. So, okay, all right. So before we go, am I driving or are we Ubering there?
Yeah.
If we're Ubering there, I need to make sure I have money in my account
To
for
go back.
to go back.
Yeah.
Who's buying the drinks? Am I allowing people to buy me drinks, or am I the one who's buying my drinks? Like, think like you're the only sober person, like you're the only sane person in the universe. You're the
Okay.
only person, because everybody else, you don't know their intentions, even if it's your friend is good, but like you gotta think of yourself as the only person who has the best intentions for yourself.
Yeah.
So make the best decisions for yourself.
Yeah.
And when you feel like it's time to go home and they all don't want to go home,
Catch your Uber.
catch your Uber and go home.
That's good.
If you know after 3 drinks I'm waste I'm waste, then
Only 3 drinks. Give me 5 shots, then maybe. Back to back.
back to back,
Yeah. Yeah.
you gotta know it has to be a lifestyle of knowing, counting the cost of everything that you do or don't do.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Umesikia. Mhenga ameongea. Next
But
point.
have fun. We're not saying don't have fun, because next time it will be them sitting here talking about
Yeah.
in the next 10 years.
What we learned in our 30s.
This is, I guess, my last point. Your friends today in your 20s more than likely will not be there in your life in your 30s. I had a group of friends in college.
Wow, a group.
We did everything together. We had house parties. We went out together. We did, we were, our group was 5 girls, 5 boys.
Wow, that was a big entourage.
And I remember even when I was moving to America, they threw me this. It was awesome. It was really awesome.
Yeah.
They threw me like a whole thing. Took me out. We had nyama choma drinks, and then we went to the club. It was nice.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful for that season, because that was my squad
Yeah.
when I was in college. Right now, of course, I'm not friends with any of the boys.
Okay.
We don't keep in touch or anything. And I'm telling you, the disconnect happened almost as soon as I got to America.
Wow. All of them or just the boys?
Most of them. Let me say most of them.
Wow.
Most
that's
of them.
sad.
They figured out. The girls,
Yeah.
at least I talked to 4 of them.
Okay.
Still friends with 1, 2, 3. Actually, 3 of them.
Uh-huh.
The others is just like,
Yeah. Just.
it just died down.
Yeesh.
It just died down. So what happens is we hold on to those friends like it's our dear life, like it's
Okay.
our lifeline and
true.
everything. Unfortunately, more than likely, because what happens as you go into your 30s, there's this like a bottleneck of friends
Okay.
and people in your life.
Hi.
You start like this with a whole squad, with many people. Imagine a funnel. Just, a funnel, the one you sieve like drinks into a funnel, how it looks like.
I like how you're
Navanga.
mansplaining for them.
In a Sorry, I feel so bad. Anyway, it starts like this, and then as you go into your 30s, when ananga working ya kwa kaka bottleneck, they reduce. You have very few quality friends left around you. Yeah, so don't be surprised when friends fall off. It's okay.
That's true. That one is true. I think we've talked about this, especially also when it comes to marriage. How people just fall off. And it's okay, imagine. Excuse me. I think as long as you're mentally prepared for the changes and the different seasons that come your way,
Yeah.
then you should be more than ready and alert and aware that you will lose friends. And sometimes it's not just even like them ghosting you, it's even you'll be talking to them, you're like, kwani kila time we're talking about this, okay, I think our priorities don't align anymore. And then
Yeah.
even you yourself, you start backing out kidogo
Yeah.
kidogo, because you're like, we don't have anything in common, or whatever kept you guys in whatever you guys had in common, you don't share that anymore. And imagine, it's okay. I don't know if it's okay to officially break up, being like, hey Wairimo, you know what, you have 2 kids now, me I don't have any, so good riddance, thanks for your time. I don't think okay, maybe not those specific words, but like I think Wairimo would get the message, be like, okay, you know what, and yeah, I have 2 kids and Jerry doesn't have any, so our lives look different. So whomst am I to force her to hang out with me and my kids? So you guys know already how I feel about kids. And I know Irimo wouldn't be like, hey, come and 1, 2, 3 with my kids. I'm like, please find somebody else to do it. But anyway, same was up with your friends. There are some people you just naturally move away from. And that's just part of life and growth. And you, like she said, you'll get to truly understand your quality friends, not quantity, quality. Because me, I have, hey, you want to know what's friends? It is me. Me, I have. But yeah.
Must be nice.
It is until you understand what friend is for what. What each friend plays in your life. There's a friend for this and there's a friend for that, and then you're like, okay, out of this array of 10, who are the ones I can truly... There's something I posted on my Instagram a while back. Hold on, I even have the notes here. Let me read for you verbatim, guys. Verbatim. It said, hey, does my circle in this season have the capacity to handle the person that God is calling me to be? And would I trust them to lead me to Jesus when I couldn't see him myself?
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
That is good.
And so, especially, I love how this now ties into my next point, which is find God for yourself.
Yep.
I think I had such an amazing opportunity when I came to America. I didn't live with my parents. I lived with family. But even then, because of the job I had, it really didn't allow me the flexibility to go to church every Sunday. And so now church became either an option or just I just wasn't able to go because of work,
Yeah.
And so now it begged me to ask, like, okay, why do I go to church? What other ways can I supplement fellowshipping with other believers and hearing the word? And it really made me do a deep dive into my faith and be like, okay, God, do I worship you or do I go to church just because it's what I've known my whole life? Is it because I genuinely trust you? I genuinely want to have a relationship with you. And so, funny thing is, all my life I've always lived close to a church, like literally walking distance from Kasarani to America. I think now where we currently live, it's the only place where we don't have a walking distance to a church. But literally my entire life walking, I'm telling you, 5 minutes I'm at a church type of thing. Always. And so it was a great journey, because now in Nizileza I'm starting from ground zero. Like, who is God? What is God? What is he all about? And now, as I am getting to improve my relationship with God, it makes me survey the things around me, like the friends. I'm like, okay, so and so, they're such a good friend. We've known each other since tene, since diapers. But what value are they adding to my life? I'm not saying I'm stopping to call them a friend, but I know where to put them in terms of hierarchy. Like, this is a friend I would go to if I need advice about events. But this is a friend I would go to if I have trouble in my marriage. If I have doubts about Jesus. So yeah, life will make you evaluate these things, or I hope at least life would make you evaluate these things healthily, because there's a way people just ghost you. And ghosting is so unfair. And I've done it before too. Every time I think of this story, it's sad, because there's a friend of mine in college. I loved her to bits, and she loved me as well, and she was so great to me, and vice versa. But because I was rediscovering myself in terms of Christianity. This was back in Kenya. I was rediscovering myself in my walk with God. I became, what's the word? Over-righteous. So I was like, okay, she's not saved. She's not this. She's not this. now you start asking, is it a verse or is it a saying? I don't know. Like when you hang bad morals ruin good company, stuff like that.
Bad company ruins good morals. It's in the Bible.
Yeah.
It's in the Bible.
So I'm like, okay, so is she bringing any good morals into my life? No. Yes, it's good to question yourself like that. However, I think there's a healthy way to discuss with your friend and be like, hey, you know what? I know we used to party, but I'm currently on a path where I have to distance myself from the partying. I would love to hang out with you for lunch or dinner, but please, moving forward, if you're calling me for a party, chances are I'm not coming.
Yeah.
I didn't have that conversation with her. I literally just cut it off. And when she asked me eventually, I was like, God told me. And what that does, if that person is not a believer, it affects their relationship with God, because they're like, God told her I'm a bad. It also depends on how they translate the situation. But I think the way I presented it to her, it was God told her. God told me that she was a bad person and I couldn't hang out with her. And it hurts me to date. We talked about it later on, and I asked for forgiveness. But that's a friendship that's
gone.
It's gone.
Even the opportunity you had to be used by God to draw her to Him, it's gone.
And it was a boyfriend who told. Let's not go there, please. I'm going to get upset all over again. A boyfriend told me, he was like, I don't like so and so's influence in your life. And I was like, I don't think. No, I didn't even tell her. I ghosted her. But when we had the conversation, I was like, I don't think God would allow us to be in the same life.
Again, that is what you did, because that's the best you knew how to handle that situation.
It was stupid. It was stupid in my 20s, and I would never do that again. And I don't know if she'll ever watch this episode, but I miss her terribly. I don't know if we can ever reconcile, but even if we do, I don't know, because it's been years. You know, things are different. And from what I've seen, what she follows and what she believes in, I'm just like, wow, okay, that's different.
Yeah. No, that happens in your 20s. You may say, do things that you later look back, you're like, hey, even me, I had to apologize to, but this one was to a guy. I did him wrong. Oh, Jesus. Nilimchafua. And that boy was just... Anyway, I apologize. That's all that matters. Later, when now maturity came to me.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I really did that boy wrong. Anyway, please do let us know. Do you have another point?
I think so.
You haven't? Oh, Sarah, tell us.
Let me make sure. This is my last one.
Yeah.
Job hop until you find what you like. That is my Please, guys. After Wairimo's point of what was your main point? What did you say?
Which one, about job?
No. Prior, you said if there's nothing else you listen to. It was one of your points.
Oh, guy, what was it? I've already forgotten. I blame my
pregnancy brain.
What?
It's okay.
It's okay.
Anyway,
somewhere there.
Number 2, after that one. Job hop until you find something that you like. I remember it was my first job after clearing college. I got into a recruitment job, which was fine. It was dandy, but I didn't like it because there was sales aspect to it. I don't believe I'm a salesperson. Other people think I am. So, Now, I went home. I told my folks, I was like, hey guys, I want to quit. And my mom was like, how can you quit? You need to have at least a backup with you. Nini.
Yeah.
And so that kind of made me, what's the word? Loyal to the corporate world. Because I'm like, how, if I leave this job, what will they do without me? Because anyway, this is a sport I have filled out. I told them I can do this job.
What are they going to do without me?
What will they truly do? You feel And then because it was my first job, I was so grateful. I felt like I owed them.
Oh man.
I owed them my life.
Yeah,
You know, like
yeah.
enyewe, they saw this
I know
girl.
that feeling. Mhm.
You know, I came from a hospital. I came from hotels, and now I'm doing recruitment. And this, my boss was a crazy man. He saw something in me. How can I disappoint him
Oh, yeah.
and quit? But then I put the weight of the world on myself
Oh, yeah.
with my C plus or C plane in KCSC.
You're
Guys.
like, I'm riding this wave all the way.
Yeah, because again, what's dangerous about the mentality of the hustle mentality
Mhm.
is because you're not what's the word? I don't forgive me if I use this word wrongly. Because you're not as favorable in the job market,
Mhm.
you end up possibly taking anything or everything that comes your way.
Gotcha. I know what
Because
you
you're like,
Mhm.
okay, if I don't take this
I'm really not
opportunity,
so qualified.
yes, that's the word. Because you're not as qualified as the world would love you to be for you to apply as an engineer or as a manager, a director. You're just like, let me take this job because if I don't take it, what if nothing else comes my way and then I miss this opportunity? Me, I'm saying job hop, guys. Job hop, job
Yes.
hop, job hop until you find what you actually like to do.
Mhm.
Now, for some people who have stayed loyal to their companies, it's worked for them. As for me,
Yeah.
every 2 to 3 years, I hop and hop and hop to the point where I'm at a salary where, with the type of degree I have, ni Mungu. Enye is God that has allowed me to have this much money. So,
I know.
do not feel tied down to a company. And nitaachia hapo. I don't want to bring in other people into this, but yeah. Do not feel tied down to a company. Leave the job if something else better comes.
Yeah.
Even if this current job has promised you sijui what. If there's another job, see, I think
There's always something better out there.
this is what really opened my eyes. COVID.
Mm-hmm.
The way I was dropped like a hot porero. Huh? Like a hot porero.
You realize how quickly dispensable you are.
When Beyonce alikuwa naimba irreplaceable. You are replaceable.
No, but I think the hustle in Kenya, made me, when I got my job, I felt like, guy, I have to be self-righteous in this job, like never do anything wrong. Like when I first came to America, I used to see people calling out, I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like, you should be here. Like,
you should be
You
grateful.
You should be here.
Yes.
Like, ati take time off for what? No, you work.
Yes.
Hey, I don't know, me, I nilikombolewa with that one. I'm like, thankfully my job now, I'm like, family comes first.
Yeah.
So if I gotta take time off to go be with my family, or I need a family day, I will take time off. Because let me tell you, you will be replaced like this. Or they can just decide, you know what, your position is no longer serving us.
Just like that.
Bye-bye. So however you have decided you will not spend time with your family. Some people don't even take their PTO time.
God forbid.
Please use your PTO. As I agree. Unless for me, the reason why I'm trying to stick through with my company right now. One, I love my company so much. Not because I feel the entitlement. I just love the environment, and I have a plan to grow. Because when I have grown, I feel like I'll be more marketable elsewhere, and also it's good for the home buying process to show longevity in a company, so before you hop, so again I'll go back to count the cost of your actions and inactions. Before you job hop, if you're planning to like buy a house maybe in America or stuff like that, remember what Valentine told us, they do look at
your history,
the history of employment and everything, and it may affect your possibility of getting approved and all that stuff. So I agree with what you said, though. Yeah.
I'm done.
So you guys, please do let us know if you're in your 30s or your 40s, whatever. If you're over if you're out of your 20s, we want to hear what are some of the things you have learned when you look back. What did your 20s teach you? What are the lessons of your 20s? We really want to hear, because we do not think we have covered them all at all. That's the tip of the iceberg. Please do share so that the people in the teens and in the early 20s and whatever, they can learn from the mistakes that we did or from the lessons that we learned, you know? So, but it's not even just mistakes. It's just lessons learned.
Just life.
It's just life lessons, you know? So, yeah. But again, please do interact with us on our social media handles. Let us know. Follow us on our Instagram. Follow us on our TikTok. Follow us. Where else? That's where we are.
Hey, hold on. No one has sent us an email from Valentine's episode. It's like they don't want the book. Guys, hiya, seriously, you guys have nyamazat like that. Like, even one ka email angalau tafadhali. Surely.
If you want to win a book from Valentine, who is the realtor, please do send us an email and let us know why we should give you that book. And while you're at it, if you have not yet done the thing, please do the thing as we take the journey to 1,000. Okay?
1,000. Glory be to the Lord.
Your episode, by the way, once we get there, I don't even know what we're gonna do.
We'll just celebrate. What else can we do?
We'll pop
a champagne.
Not champagne. This nana. Sisi kunywa champagne.
See, mine will be champagne. Yours will be apple cider.
But apple cider. We'll pop apple cider and champagne.
Yes.
Yeah, but anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please, again, interact with us, and we will see you guys on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.